2.2% of children worldwide and 2.8% of adults suffer from ADHD. Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder, or ADHD, is a neurodevelopmental disorder characterized by the inability to concentrate, excessive activity, and impulsivity. It can have a major negative impact on one's life if not treated, so be sure to check if you have the symptoms presented in the next minutes. Symptoms are much harder to detect in adults than in children, especially because most studies have children subjects. But being a developmental disorder, it cannot develop in adults without first appearing during childhood. Now, the symptoms for ADHD are of two types. 1. Inattentiveness, and 2. Hyperactivity and impulsivity. Let's start with the symptoms for inattentiveness. Number 1. Short attention span. People with ADHD have quite a problem in focusing on a specific action for too long, especially in contemporary society where all businesses and social media platforms are fighting for our attention. Number 2. Losing things. Did you usually forget your things at school or often lose your clothes, notebooks, or other objects when you were a child? It's a fairly important symptom that can occur in most people with ADHD. Number 3. Careless mistakes. People with ADHD tend to make hasty decisions and end up in situations they later regret. Most of the time, this happens because they are in a hurry and want to make decisions quickly, or simply do not invest the required attention to make a wise decision. Number 4. Constantly changing activities. Children with ADHD tend to often switch from one passion to another or change their opinions regarding the favorite subjects they want to study. More serious problems can occur in adults, such as the inability to keep a job for too long, or even the bankruptcy of the business they own because they start investing energy in other businesses. Now, let's illustrate the symptoms for hyperactivity and impulsivity. Number 5. They are the most energetic individuals in the group. Don't you know someone who seems to be driven by a motor? They are ready all the time to do something, to go on trips, to talk about anything. They are also unable to sit still, and they are constantly fidgeting and have an excessive physical movement. Number 6. Excessive talking and interrupting conversations. People with hyperactivity and impulsivity have an uncontrollable need to talk continuously. Not only do they like to talk, but they also don't have the patience to listen to others and wait for their turn during a dialogue, and tend to interrupt their conversation partners. Number 7. Taking risks with little thought for the danger. Although most children have small accidents, those who suffer from ADHD get injured abnormally often. For example, they will never refuse the offer to ride a bike without brakes in the valley or to climb an old, abandoned, and unstable house for the sake of adrenaline. According to DSM-5, the Manual for Mental Disorders, for a child to be diagnosed with ADHD, the symptoms presented must be present for 6 months or more and cause significant problems functioning in at least 2 separate aspects of their life, like school, home, etc. The most effective treatments for ADHD involve behavioral therapies or medication either alone or in combination. But don't forget, diagnosis and treatment should only be provided by a health specialist. Hey, don't forget to give us a like, subscribe, and now you can watch this video explaining bipolar disorder. See you there.